We'll do the same thing as we did in D.C., the same thing as we did everywhere we've gone.
Gun violence erupting in Chicago. Police say at least 9 teens were shot in 2 separate shootings just blocks away in the downtown area. Damn. Reporter Mayor Kawash from our station in Chicago has the latest.
Well, it was certainly a chaotic night here in Chicago's Loop. Right here on State Street, those gunshots ringing out around 10 o'clock last night, right outside of our ABC7 studios here in downtown and right near the iconic Chicago Theater. Now, the ages of those who were shot ranging from 13 to 17 years old. All of this happening right after the tree lighting ceremony that happened here in Chicago's downtown and brought thousands of people here last night. Now, those people who were shot, all teenagers, they are expected to be okay. All of them initially listed in good condition. And then about 40 minutes later, there was another shooting just around the corner on South Dearborn Street, just a few minutes away from where we're standing right now. About 10:40 last night, there was another shooting involving 2 males who were hurt in that shooting, a 14-year-old dying. Told us earlier this morning. At this time, no one is in custody. We will likely expect to see more of a police presence out here tonight for that Mag Mile Festival, but very chaotic and disturbing as you had 9 people shot and one of them, a 14-year-old, dying from his injuries in this shooting. Ike.
The raw truth is that the Brandon Johnson administration has completely failed the people of Chicago. You know, people are disillusioned. They've lost hope. Things are just getting worse and aggravated. You know, constantly encountering mayhem. You know, on the other hand, is the endless, altercations between them and the mayor. All of his idiotic and absurd ideologies, are completely inappropriate. And they don't seem to make things, feasible for the Chicago residents. And that's precisely one of the reasons why, the Chicago residents are desperately seeking for President Trump's intervention in their city. Because they are so fed up with Brandon Johnson. They are so fed up with vocalizing their wants and needs, but after that, getting ignored.
There's people waiting for the bus, people coming up and down from the L Street station. And then this, as Ravi said and you said, Cheryl, almost immediately these officers, guns drawn, were on the move. And this was shortly beforehand. This is when we saw scuffles breaking out. You said you saw people throwing shoes.
It was a violent fight.
Yeah.
On the ground, several people and several different groups of people were fighting violently. It was very concerning. And then they kind of broke apart. And I saw lots of gym shoes being thrown. And they kind of broke apart and started moving. Some started going, of course, south. Some started heading north toward the river.
They were running up to the L tracks on the elevated state, the state lake there.
1,300 robberies, 5,200 felonies, theft, 16,400. Whether it's the mayor or the police chief, I'd just be pissed off if I saw those numbers. I mean, enough is enough, Cata.
Well, we've been pissed off, and we became pissed off when Brandon Johnson actually took office and, moved to remove police officers from our Chicago public schools. And, we're seeing this violence. We're seeing it being perpetrated with our youth. So we know that there's an issue with youth, and we know that it is starting in the schools.
The city of Chicago is a war zone. Gun violence is still an issue. Every single day you will hear of a new case, whereby someone has been murdered. There are a lot of, vicious activities that are constantly taking place in Chicago. And it's not like those people in high positions, they don't know anything about this. No, they know very well. But this thing it's intentional. They choose to not do anything about it. They choose to prioritize their ignorance more than, prioritizing, salvaging the problems that already exist. This thing is not rocket science, people. It needs an unwavering determination and consistent action towards enforcing the law. People are dying on a constant basis. National Guards are getting killed. People are being set on fire. School children are beating up, pregnant moms. Like, this whole thing is a whole mess. And the crucial question is, for how long are we intending to keep a blind eye towards this insanity, towards this absurdity? I mean, how many people have to die for us to be compelled to take responsibility and take necessary measures that are vital for our own sake? So guys, thank you for watching. My name is Johannes. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. Cheers.